Hey, you guys, how y'all doing? I'm back. How y'all doing today? I'm back again, and I'm going to be sharing my thoughts on the Big West Conference opener for the University of Hawaii men's basketball team. Unfortunately, I want to make a note here. Now, now, obviously, you can tell my background is different, but that's because I'm doing this thing a little differently. I did not attend the UC Davis game due to a personal matter, as you can tell in the description down below. So you won't see any B-roll and you won't see any graphics that I put up this time. So I'm going to share my thoughts on the Big West Conference opener for the University of Hawaii, and that was against UC Davis. So how did they do? They ended up winning 74-66, the University of Hawaii I'm talking about. And the second half really told the story, as you can tell in my title. And that's one of the things that told the difference for me. But from what I could see, it was a lot more than just the two things that you're seeing on my title down below. The University of Hawaii did very well, as I said. What kind of grade would I give them? I would definitely have to give them probably I would say because of that kind of ugly first half, I would probably give them probably a B plus or an A minus. Why would I say that? Because after the first half, they had 13 turnovers, and a very uncharacteristic thing for the University of Hawaii, as opposed to 6 turnovers for UC Davis. And UH really had something to prove there. Did I think they would win? Yes. They definitely had a lot to prove after they lost the only meeting against Davis at Davis last season, and that was after they coughed up a 14-point lead. But here's the thing. They definitely did better. It was an uphill battle in the first half. And once they took the lead, they kind of played a little bit maybe played a little streaky, but in the second half, they turned it all around. And fortunately, they got a lot of momentum after Justus Jackson hit a triple at the buzzer. Now, obviously, just like with Noel Coleman against Fullerton last season, where he sank a triple at the buzzer, although UH had a bigger lead at that time, the fact that they were able to take the lead at the buzzer certainly told a lot of stories to me. And it certainly proved to me that they had what it took and they were not going to go home with an L. And I will say this. The second half, Samuta Avea really did a lot of good defensively against Elijah Pepper. And he's a really good player for UC Davis, as is Christian Anigwe, and he led the way with 21 points that night. Now, as for UH, they were led by JoVon McClanahan with 23. They were all in the second half. And he was also perfect from the three-point area. He was 3 for 3. And he really carried over the momentum that he had from the Diamond Head Classic. And of course, as you saw, that last second three-pointer that will definitely go down in history in the University of Hawaii in UH athletics history. And that was a big shot too, because if McClanahan did not have that game, I don't think UH would have won. Didn't carry over any momentum. I don't think UH would have won. And it was good to see some other guys show that they're ready for conference play, mainly Morsek and Beon Riley off the bench. And Morsek has really been coming into his own little by little, and he'll definitely be a good replacement if Bernardo da Silva ends up leaving. And after he graduates. But anyway, what really told the story, I mentioned that in the title, is the blocks. And I mentioned blocks and turnovers in my title. And I'll say this right now. The way that they played in that second half was much, much better. How many turnovers did they have? 2. And in the second half, UC Davis had 9 turnovers. So you can definitely see the difference there. But UH did not commit a turnover until about 10 or 9 minutes to go, somewhere around there. So obviously, that was a big thing for them to do. Did I think UH, as I said, did I think UH was going to win? Yes, I did. And we had something to prove. We proved it. We were looking for a big half. We were looking for a better second half. We got it. We needed to clean up the turnovers. We cleaned that up. And we had to start off on the right foot for conference play. We did that. I think the only thing that really needs to be improved is playing more efficiently in the first half, because UH was very fortunate that it was only a 3-point game, because when you commit that amount of turnovers in a half, usually your opponent will walk away with the game going away. But fortunately, UH kept their defense up. They were very efficient. And thanks to an inspired play from Justus Jackson, I think UH really did what they had to do to win. Because if they didn't have performances from Jackson and JoVon McClanahan, UH probably would have lost this game and made this 3 times in a row that they lost to Davis, a team that they've actually had some very good luck against. And there was a time where they had some good luck against as of late, because in the past 3 seasons, UH has lost to them twice. And, excuse me. UH has lost to Davis only twice. And from what I could see in that game last season, that was because they coughed up that 14-point lead and they got a little too complacent. This game, they did not get complacent at all. And once JoVon McClanahan came to life, the running was on the wall, and UC Davis could not win. Now, I will say, though, one thing that kind of helped us out is the fact that before the season ever started, UC Davis lost their lead scorer, or one of their lead scorers, Ezra Mannion, who transferred to Vanderbilt, as they said as Kanoalehi had said on the broadcast. And Ezra Mannion was a very key figure in that win against us last season at their place. But he's not the only one. They also have Elijah Pepper, and as I mentioned, he led the way in that game. And they also have another player who can really do well, and that's Christian Anigwe. But in terms of new players, T.Y. Johnson was another guy who really provided a lot of hustle for Davis. And the fact that he had one triple hit, or one triple that he made, but what really helped UH out is the fact that Avea had played really good defense against Elijah Pepper. And although Pepper still had a good amount of points, scoring over 20, the fact that Avea was able to handle him defensively certainly told a story. And that's proof right there that if Samutsa didn't get hurt last season, we may very well have won that game last year. But it is what it is. So obviously, UH was not able to come through with that win last season. And last season, of course, University of Hawaii was supposed to open conference play at home against Davis, but that ended up canceled due to COVID-19 concerns. and that caused us to pull out of the game against Northern Iowa in the Diamond Head Classic last year. And that Diamond Head Classic, as I said in my last video here, was a total mess. And as a matter of fact, University of Hawaii had their first 3 games canceled because of COVID-19 concerns. And that was against Davis, Riverside, and Cal State Fullerton. And there were also COVID concerns in the Riverside program. And that was actually canceled well before the Diamond Head Classic ever took place. Or when the Diamond Head Classic concluded, I should say. And those are 3 quality teams. And we actually happened to lose to Davis and Riverside in the 2 road games there. And the Riverside game ended a 7-game win streak for University of Hawaii. And unfortunately now we can call ourselves part of that ship. You know why? Because if the Big West has any team on a win streak, Riverside seems to be the team to ruin it. I'm going to say that right now. But anyway, getting back to the UC Davis game, again, I would give them an A because they certainly turned it around with 2 turnovers in the second half as opposed to 9 from UC Davis in that second half. So obviously we started off on the right foot. And obviously we're going to have to bring our A game against Cal Poly. And I say that because last season we really had to gut out that game because we were down 2 guys because Noel Coleman got hurt in the UC Irvine game due to a fractured orbital socket. And also Kamakahepa was a no-show due to family reasons. And at that time, University of Hawaii had built a big lead only to see Cal Poly come to life and take that lead away, and they ended up pulling a 5-point lead. But fortunately, UH was able to put it all together in the second half, and they were able to win it 63-54, ending that game on a 9-0 run. Now, I failed to mention the blocks. How many blocks did UH have in this game against UC Davis? 12, as opposed to 0 from UC Davis. And the guy who had the most blocks, Bernardo da Silva, he had 5 blocks. And the fact that UH was able to get that many blocks in a game, that's a big statement. And it just goes to show you how good we can be. I'm going to say that right now. And obviously the preseason polls are historically inaccurate. UH was picked to finish 2nd place in the Big West Conference. I would have picked them for 2nd place, but I also thought that they would win the conference, with 3rd being the worst that they could do. But anyway, if this game was any indication, we'll find out. And we'll be in for a hell of a season in 2023. So, obviously, we'll have to bring our A game because Cal Poly was able to down CSUN. So, something tells me that Cal Poly might have a good player on their team. So, I'm very proud of the University of Hawaii. I'm very proud as an alum myself to be able to come through with this win. So, obviously, I hope that we can win Cal Poly. I hope that they can do so. Do I think they'll win? Yes. They'll have to bring their A game, though, and they'll have to play well. All right, guys, that's it for now. So, I'll see you all again. And you will see a video when I take care of the Cal Poly game. And will I attend that game? Very likely I will. I had to, and as I said at the top of the video, I did not attend the UC Davis game due to a personal matter. So for now, malama pono, everyone.